Hi Libra, welcome to your end of October 2018 love reading. This is the first time I've done a mid-month or end-of-month love reading. I'm experimenting with it using fewer cards, but so far, you know, the first reading I did, it almost was 20 minutes. So I was trying to make them shorter. I was trying to see how that would work. So we'll see if I can do it this way. I'm shuffling the cards from behind the camera, and I'm not going to put them in you're not going to see me pick them in front of the camera because I have a card here that has a marking that I know what card it is. So I'm trying to like not look as I pick the cards. This is for single and coupled Libra people. Oh, that's nice. Or you know, it's funny because it's like I'm wondering if this is me or if it's just I always seem to get these like intense readings sometimes, or I said always sometimes. And pardon me, I'm dealing with a flu, so I'm a little bit loopy. The situation, the status of your love life right now is the Five of Cups, which this is a card that's not necessarily associated with something really upbeat. I mean, there could be something, you could be mourning the loss of a relationship. And in late September, there was a full moon in Aries, which is your opposite sign, and it fell in the house that you ruled, the 7th house of committed partnership. So it's possible that you had a disappointment with a love situation. Maybe you discovered something about your partner that was too big to ignore, and that has made you very, it made you somewhat dejected. It can be that you ended a relationship, and if you're single, maybe you feel like it's hard to find anybody, and you're like, why? Well, look at the area that you have to work on. This is a card. It's actually not ruled by you, believe it or not. Wouldn't you think it would be? This is actually a card of Gemini, a fellow air sign. So what could you work on that has to do with the Lover's card? Because Libra is a sign that's associated with partnerships, so there's nothing to work on, right? Well, it could be saying that once you get into a relationship that you just want to stay there, that you give up the rest of your life. Maybe you need to always, when you're in the next relationship, maintain your own sense of self. Maybe you get too lost in a relationship and you become the couple, the two-headed beast. And that can be very... that could be like that could be problematic because the other person may feel suffocated, or they may feel like, well, I want to be with you, but I also have this and that I'm interested in, and I don't feel like you understand that about me. And maybe like, it's not that Libra is a sign, okay, truck, go by. It's not like Libra is a sign that's associated with being, you're not like a Taurus where you're possessive in that sense. It's really just wanting somebody to define you sometimes, wanting to be in that relationship when maybe it's not good for you. Maybe at first it seems like it's a good match, and yet it's not, but you still want it anyway because you want to be with somebody. And so maybe that's what happened. You got disappointed because somebody turned out to be different than you thought they were. And these things happen. But it's also a matter of looking at your own behavior in the process. And for some people, if you are with someone, maybe they are having an affair and you need to really own it. Maybe you're in denial to some extent that this is happening. And it could be staring you right in the face. And you're not willing to look at the fact that this is happening. I wouldn't be surprised if that is true for some people because of this card. The advice, Son of Pentacles, which is Knight of Pentacles. This is maybe throwing yourself into your work. Looking for a partner like the Knight of Pentacles, which is associated with Taurus. But if we talk about all the earth signs, Virgo and Capricorn, but not I don't think it necessarily has to be someone from one of those signs. It could simply be that somebody who's reliable, who's dependable. Maybe you're the type of person who gets blinded by flash, by someone who comes on very strongly and very dramatically. I think of a Leo person who's actually more of a player, but who tries to act like they are going to be this, they're going to be the answer to all your problems. And, you know, like a character from a Harlequin romance novel who is larger than life, and they, you know, and a lot of times that's a red flag, actually, that you're dealing with a narcissist, that you're dealing with somebody who is being inauthentic, and that they might be like a player. They might be somebody who, they know what you want. They know the type of person that you're looking for, and they try to be that person. And that's, you know, what can we say about that? It's not real. You know, life is not a romance novel. Love is not a romance novel. What's coming in is the Eight of Cups. For some of you who are in that relationship, you may walk away. Hashtag walk away. I was just thinking that because there's like a hashtag called walk away. But I mean, you might walk away from the relationship because you might feel that it's not touching you emotionally, that it's not, you know, it's funny. Here we have the Five of Cups, and the person, you, feels sad about the status of this relationship. Or if you are not involved with anyone, you feel maybe disappointed that maybe you've just turned, you know, because your birthday has been right now, maybe you've turned 30 or 40 or 50, and you're like marking your accomplishments based on that, which is, I think, pretty foolish to do. It really is, because you have no idea when you're going to get it together. If you feel like you haven't gotten it together, it could happen at any age, even at an advanced age. And you could find your soulmate at an advanced stage. So never give up on finding your soulmate if you've been disappointed in love. It's just that you may have reached a certain, whatever you want to call it, milestone or what have you, and you're like, oh, what, you know, I haven't gotten this person, and comparing yourself, everyone, look, they've been married, I'm 40, I've never had a partner that is a serious one where we were going to spend the rest of our lives together. I've always had these like short-term relationships. But one thing I wanted to say about that, if you are in that age range, and maybe you even wanted children and you haven't had them yet, the Son of Pentacles could be saying that you have been you're into your work, that you just didn't have enough time. You didn't leave enough time for that part of your life, for personal life. And that, you know, you can only You're only one person. You can't be in two places at once. So the Eight of Cups, for a person like that who's single, maybe you decide to, I mean, this would have to be support, other factors supporting it, including financial security. But you decide to just quit your job and go to India. And it's like a spiritual quest, because that's what the Eight of Cups can be sometimes. Somebody that just decides, whether they're single or whether they're married, they're just like they have to do this. They feel compelled to just look for the meaning of life. And they feel like there's something missing. The outcome is the Seven of Wands. And I was like, oh, isn't that nice? It seemed like such a, the eternal flame or something like that. And then I remembered what the Seven of Wands represents in other decks, and it represents being on the defensive. I think, though, in the context of this reading, that it's more about fighting for yourself, fighting for your right to be happy. So if you're in a relationship, you want to be in a relationship with somebody who cherishes you, who is not, breaking your heart by being unfaithful to you, who is, who thinks that you're really the best thing that ever happened to them, instead of criticizing you all the time. That the Seven of Wands can be like defending yourself from somebody who is trying to attack you in some way. And it's usually like, verbally, I would think, You're somehow conveying the message that you're not good enough. But with Libra, how do they do that? What is the best way to get inside a Libra's head, especially a Libra woman's head, about themselves, to make them doubt themselves? Say something about their looks. Even if they're beautiful, mention when they've gained that 3 pounds and blow it up into something that's like, oh, wow, you're not attractive anymore. Or threaten that, oh, you've got some wrinkles, and try to make it like real. Those kinds of people, they know how to get inside your head and make you doubt yourself. And you might be vulnerable to that particular area of life. So, Seven of Wands, fighting for your dignity by leaving a relationship that does not serve you, or if you're single, by going on a spiritual quest. It doesn't mean that you have to leave the country. It means within yourself, starting to dig deeper and finding out who you really are, Libra. That's how you get there. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this, and if you'd like to explore this further, I do love readings, personal love readings, and a lot of it incorporates astrology, and that can really kind of continue this conversation of what makes you tick and what to, possible ways to go to change patterns. Even if you're single, you could have patterns, about the type of person that you tend to be attracted to, and so on and so forth. The link is below to my online store. Have an awesome rest of the month. Take care. Bye.